Hi everyone, my name is Elaine, and today I'm going to be both summarizing and reviewing the 27th novel in Terry Pratchett's Discworld series, The Last Hero. Starting with the summary. The patrician receives a message from the Adjutian Empire stating that Cohen the Barbarian is headed for Cori Celesti because the last hero ought to return what the first hero stole. That's on page 16. The Empire wants the Ankh-Morporkians to stop him. In a meeting with the wizards and guild leaders, Lord Vetinari and Ponder Stibbons explain the situation. Cohen the Barbarian is climbing a mountain on which the gods live, and we cannot stop him. And he intends to return fire to the gods. Fire in the shape of a 50-pound keg of Adjutian thunderclay. If the clay is detonated atop the mountain, which is the hub of the world's magic field, it will collapse the field and destroy the world since magic is what holds it together. That's on pages 20 to 21. Cohen informs the Silver Horde that they had kidnapped a minstrel from Ankh-Morpork's embassy in order to tell their saga following their visit to the gods. It is determined that Leonard O'Kerm, who is building the flying ship, Rincewind, who knows Cohen and the Horde, and Carrot, a keen lad with a sword, will comprise the ship's crew and go after the Horde. Cohen informs the minstrel that he will be paid in rubies to write the saga of how the Horde died. The minstrel accepts. The Horde tells the minstrel why they're going to return fire to the gods with interest. Their reasons range from having seen a lot of old friends die to the gods allowing the heroes to grow old. That's on page 47. The Horde is ambushed by a familiar face, Evil Harry Dread, an evil Dark Lord, and his stupid henchmen. While gathered around a fire, the Horde discovers that Harry has left the evil Dark Lord business because times have changed. There are too many men who don't know or live by the code. Cohen informs Harry that he left life as an emperor because it was dull, that the life and death it offered was not suitable for a hero, whom he feels should die in battle. That's on page 55. Cohen hints at the Horde's plan and invites Harry to come along for the ride. Harry is reluctant to join since he can't be trusted and is bound to betray the group eventually. Cohen won't hear of it. He finds Harry and his henchmen refreshing and knows he appreciates the Dark Lord in a way others can't. It is then that Cohen tells Harry a bit more of their plan. The Horde, Evil Harry, and his henchmen begin to make their way up the mountain. Evil Harry's henchmen perish while facing various obstacles on their way up the mountain. The minstrel's loot is severely damaged after he is eaten by a fish and then rescued by Truckle, then singed in a corridor which shoots flame from its floor unexpectedly. Evil Harry and the Horde run into Vina, the Raven-Haired, an aged hero. She, Cohen, and Evil Harry each have a scroll with a map depicting how to get to the mountain and how to survive all its little surprises. The minstrel wonders who wrote them since no one has survived the journey. The gods watch the heroes and company from their game board. The travelers realize they're headed into a trap. Rincewind and company depart on their flying machine, the Kite, which Leonard and a group of helpers had constructed, for their mission to Cori Celesti, to stop the Horde from carrying out their plan. After realizing that their ship is heavier than Leonard thought, using up more air, and experiencing vanishing food, the travelers realize that the librarian has snuck onto the ship. The minstrel begins repairing his loot. He intends to make it into a lyre. The minstrel informs Cohen that Mazda, the man who stole fire from the gods and gave it to mankind, was punished for his actions. He was chained to a rock for all eternity. Each day, an eagle comes and pecks out his liver. It grows back by the next day. It seems as though Cohen wants to do something about that. The flying machine's crew is forced to land on the moon. Lots of moon dragons live there. After some more mayhem, Cohen and company arrive at the citadels of the gods. Cohen and company disguise themselves as gods before entering the gods' home. The gods watch from above and decide to go along with it, up to a point. After the dragons are fed, the ship's crew sets off for the disk. Through an omniscope, Vetinari speaks with Rincewind and guides the ship down. Cohen and company know that Evil Harry betrayed them by tipping off the gods while praying aloud at an altar they had passed earlier during the course of their journey, and confront him about it. They understand it's all part of the code. Evil Harry is allowed to go. The heroes and minstrel are giving a warm welcome as they pass through the gates of Dun Manifestin. They are told that the mortals trying to enter Dun Manifestin and invited to both watch and take part in the gods' game. The kite flies halfway through the gateway of the gods. That's on page 151. After cheating fate by cutting a die in half to make 7 and defeat him, Cohen reveals that he knows the gods left the scrolls to lure heroes to their deaths, and gives the order to press the plunger that will ignite the clay. Carrot announces that he intends to place the heroes under arrest for conspiracy to end the world. That's on page 158. Carrot and the heroes size each other up. Rincewind isn't able to reason with the heroes, but the minstrel is. No one will be left to remember them if everyone is dead. Cohen regrets his order. Unable to stop what has been set in motion, the Horde places the keg back on Hamish's wheelchair and leave the gods home as swiftly as they can before it explodes, which allows them to save the world from themselves. Leonard is punished by the gods for his construction of the kite. It is seen as an attempt to subvert the natural order. He has to paint the ceiling of Ankh-Morpork's Temple of Small Gods without assistance within 10 years' time, or the city will be burned down. The other travelers are each given a boon. Carrot has the kite repaired so they may return home, Rincewind is given a blue balloon, and the librarian is given a red balloon and some supplies for the library. The minstrel convinces Evil Harry to guide him down the mountain. They pass a shattered wheel from Mad Hamish's wheelchair. The minstrel empties the bag of rubies he was paid to write the saga out beside it. Vina and the horde ambush the Valkyries that come for the men. The men steal their horses and ride off. Their status as being either dead or alive is unclear. Death arrives soon after and speaks with Vina. He doesn't collect anyone. While seated around a campfire, the minstrel plays the saga for Vina and Evil Harry. They like it. The horde cuts Mazda's chains, shake his hand, and give him both a drink and a sword before riding into the stars. Mazda can hear the eagle coming and knows he will enjoy the bit that comes next. The Kite's crew returns to Ankh-Morpork. Leonard begins his penance and finishes in 3 weeks. The story ends with the lines, "No one remembers the singer. The song remains." That's on page 176. Now, on to my book review. I really liked this book. I appreciated how it was a fast-paced, quick read, and felt as though Pratchett's humor bled through the pages. And it was strong humor. The jokes were spot on. I really enjoyed how Pratchett poked fun at heroes and villains and their nature, and thoroughly enjoyed the time Cohen spent trying to teach the minstrel how to write a proper saga in particular. With that being said, I didn't feel as though this novel contained any character development, and would have liked to see a bit of that. I feel as though the lack of character development stems from the fact that it was left out in place of the novel's humor. It basically felt like there was so much humor that the pages were bursting with it, and there wasn't much room for anything else like character development. I appreciated getting to catch up with Rincewind and Cohen again and enjoyed the illustrations that accompanied the novel, particularly the landscapes. I think I would have appreciated slightly larger text, but really don't have anything particularly negative to say. Overall, I gave the book a 4 out of 5-star rating. I really liked it, but it needed some character development and larger text to be my idea of a perfect novel and score more highly. And there you have it. My summary and review of Terry Pratchett's The Last Hero. What did you think of my summary? And what did you think of this book if you read it? Let me know down below in the comments. I always like to know what you guys think. And if you like what you saw here today, please smash that like button until it's blue. Subscribe, ring that bell so you'll know what's up, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.